So what's wrong with the Arab Islamic world? When you visit the Middle East and you go to Israel, there's freedom of speech, there's human rights for gays and for minorities, there's freedom to practice your religion, and there aren't these things in all the Arab Islamic countries surrounding Israel, such as Egypt and Syria, Jordan. Like, we're now seeing some movement towards democracy in parts of the Arab world. I think it's a big question whether things are just going to end up worse than they were before, where we have the Muslim Brotherhood, key component of the Egyptian government. It's now being run by the military, and for the first time we have warships from Iran going through the straits that Egypt controls. So what's going on? Dennis Prager on his radio show yesterday said, "Fascinating that we have heard of no reports of demonstrations in Syria. It gives you an idea of how effective the totalitarian state is. Even Iran has had massive demonstrations." When one looks at that part of the world, what do people blame for the lack of elementary liberty and rights on? It's an important question. Everyone who cares about the world ought to think about it. Ironically, if you care for Arabs, you have to think about it. What has prevented the development of human rights in virtually the entire Arab world and parts of the Muslim world outside of it? You say colonialism, a lie that is so large that the only question I have with regard to it is, do you really believe it? India was colonized for about 1,300 years, about 1,000 years by Muslims, about 100 years by the British. How come India developed into a full functioning democracy? Pakistan is the perfect parallel to India. Pakistan is a Muslim country, India is a predominantly Hindu country. So Pakistan was part of India, it has the same history. So look at Pakistan, look at India and the development of human rights. The legal community in Pakistan is for blasphemy laws. The young lawyers in Pakistan have banded together demanding that the blasphemy laws of the country of Pakistan remain in power. That means the right to jail and kill anybody deemed to have insulted Islam or Muhammad or anything that disturbs any Muslim that is said by a non-Muslim. So how is it possible for anyone outside of a religion to blaspheme that religion?